Well, the purpose in today's lesson is that we try to instill in students learning strategies in which they can take with them not only for one particular class but into other classes, and we want them to understand the depth of the concept in which they are trying to learn, not just the surface area content, but we want to learn the details of the content. And what we did today was a strategy known as sweepers, in which students are required to break up text. They're required to survey the text first and then ask questions about it, make predictions about the text, and then go back and see if they were able, after reading the passage, if they were able to answer those questions or even gain new information from what they read. Now that you have had the opportunity to survey your text, you are asked to check some of the text features. Remember, we talked about pictures, captions, highlighted words, bolded words, headings and subheadings. Someone raise their hand for me, please, and tell me one of the features that you found in the text, something that you checked. Okay?
There are only mammals that can fly.
Just a text feature. Remember, we're talking about pictures, captions, subheadings, bolded words, the dark words, or the highlighted words. Yes. Okay, the title. Okay, the title is a feature, and what is the title? Vampire bats. So if we see the title is vampire bats, what do we think we're going to read about? We're going to learn about vampire bats. Someone mentioned vampire earlier on our circle map that we did. Okay, we heard about the vampire. What do we know about vampires?
They like blood.
They like blood. Okay.
They come at night.
They have sharp teeth. They come out at night. Okay, those are the things that we've heard about vampires. What are some other text features that we have here? Okay, what about this first picture? That is a text feature. What is beside that?
A tree.
You have some words beside that. That is a caption. It tells us vampire bats have fangs. So it gives us some information already. What about the very back page? Okay, those are text features. It's a graph that gives us information about vampire bats. We have not even read the article yet, okay? But we already know some information about bats. Okay, think about what you are about to read. Think about what you are about to read, okay? Do not read yet, but in your group, I want you to discuss what it is that you think that we are about to read about in detail, not just vampire bats, but just from the text features and the first lines that you read. What is it that you think that we are about to read about? Discussing your, close your article, put your article down. Okay, and I just want you to discuss in your group what it is that you think that we are about to read about in regards to vampire bats. Okay, discuss.
Vampires. What they like. And
Some areas in which I saw success where students were able to generate their own questions without me having to particularly tell them how to generate questions. They talked to their peers and saw that they had some commonalities, some of the same questions to ask. And so in those discussions, I think they felt a little bit more comfortable to share out once they discussed with their peer. Okay, table 3. What do you think that we are about to read about vampire bats? What did you discuss?
how they live. How they live.
How they live. Okay, you think we're going to talk about how vampire bats live. Okay, what about table 5? What did you discuss?
How vampires, how they're like, how they're like.
You got it. What did y'all discuss?
How much they sleep.
How much they sleep, okay? So your hand here.
How do they survive?
How they survive.
How they are gathered.
How they gather together. Okay, very good. So these are the things based on what you've surveyed so far in your text that you think we are going to read about. Now, what I need for you to do is that since you didn't get to read the entire text yet, I know there are probably some questions already going on in your head. You have some sticky notes on your table, okay? But you only need one. What I want each group to do is I want you to come up with 3 questions that you already have about the particular passage that we're about to read about, vampire bats. I want you to write down 3 questions in your group that you come up with that you want to know based on this particular article, okay? I'm going to give you just a little time to do that. One person in your group will take a sticky note. Each person will discuss particular questions that you may have about the article that we are about to read. It takes some time, and what I mean by that, the first few steps like the surveying and the questioning, it takes some time to even get the students to understand what text features are. So you have to make sure that they have that skill down first to be able to identify those particular features. Also questioning, some students are not able to generate questions. So what I would advise is teachers to use a rubric of some sort, some kind of matrix, in order to show students how to generate questions from the level 1 all the way to the level 4 types of questions. And when students are able to survey the text and they know their text features, and then they're able to generate those questions, then they get excited about reading because they know what they're looking forward to reading. I messed up. I'll put it on a timer. Some things that were an eye-opener for me was when I asked students to generate questions. What I did was there were 6 groups, and I went around to each group and I asked them for each group to share at least one question that they had. And when reviewing those 6 questions and asking the other groups if they shared the same questions, well, to my surprise, they did not. And they had new questions. So there was a second round that was done. And these are questions that you think that we will be able to answer after we have finished reading.
What time of the year is it?
Okay, time is up. Now I'm going to go around to each table, and I'm going to first ask you just for one question, okay? And I'm going to record the question here because we're going to, after we finish reading, we're going to go back and see if we've answered these particular questions after we've read the text. Now, table 1, what is one of your questions?
How many years can they live?
How many years can bats live? Vampire bats. I'm just going to put they. We know we're talking about vampire bats. Okay, table 2.
What time of the year can they gather?
What time of the year can they gather?